Hello, my friends. Hope you're having a great weekend. 4 years, 212 million extension for Tua Tagovailoa keeps him in Miami. This deal puts him behind Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, but ahead of Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson. This kind of took me by surprise. It did. This deal because it was always his health concerns. Are they all in on Tua? Are the Dolphins 100% committed to Tua being their franchise quarterback? I don't think it was a matter of whether they were going to pay him or not. I think they were prepared to move forward with him. Their actions this offseason said that they were going to pay him. I don't believe for a second that the Miami Dolphins were ever ready to give up on Tua. It's a big commitment for a guy who has a long list of health concerns. You know, can't stay healthy, can't win a playoff game, and not able to throw it in cold weather. I just kind of expect these deals if you are a top 10, top 15 quarterback in this league. You have one decent season and get a huge extension. I mean, that's what's happening in today's NFL. You have one good year, and suddenly you're this proven quarterback. I think the wise move would have been to let him play out this year. If it doesn't work out, then move on to the next one. And if he plays well, then you franchise tag him while you figure out what you're going to do at the quarterback position. They had the 5th-year option and franchise tag. They should have waited. I don't know had I would have taken a chance on Tua. Tell you the truth, this is a gamble. You're gambling on Tua, leaving Dolphin fans with no choice but to be sucked in with him. The question becomes this: can he stay healthy and be that franchise quarterback you paid him to be? What kind of impact will he have this season? What is his ceiling if he can stay on the field and quarterback this team without taking a beating or that one scary hit that can have him back on the sideline? Right now, I'm not paying him that kind of money. I'm not paying him that kind of money. I'm not paying him ridiculous money considering his medical history, the concussions. But let's face it, when you're talking about Tua, and I know we've heard this, his physical limitations put a ceiling on the offense. His arm strength is questionable. His inability to improvise, even a little bit, out of the structure, gets the Dolphins into trouble every single time. By signing off on this, what this tells me, what the Dolphins are saying here, is that they basically have their franchise guy, and that's Tua. Clearly, the offense flows with him, and Miami's fast-paced offense elevates to a ceiling. And keep in mind, Tua led the NFL with 4,624 passing yards in 2023, second in yards per attempt, along with excellent efficiency and accuracy ratings, going deep and completing passes. You can say a year ago he had his best season statistically. You can make a case for him. That to me was a vast improvement for him. I'm still not paying him, even if he was in the top 5 of every major passing category in 2023. Then you have the 2 most explosive receivers in the league in Tyreek Hill and Jaden Rattle. I think Tua will get better and take that next step in becoming a franchise quarterback. But again, I'm not paying him all that money. I'm waiting to see what he does this season. But I personally believe that he could do something great. However, you could have waited to pay him. No rush to give him the money. I do feel that Tua will grow into his role and become the guy for the Miami Dolphins. I don't think he's anywhere near being an elite quarterback. I just don't. Now, that's not to say he sucks. He doesn't. I worry for Tua's long-term brain health decades from now with all the concussions he suffered. But with the injuries, not being able to perform in cold weather, Tua is a starter, but nowhere near elite. If you look at what he did versus teams below 500, that's exactly the conclusion that you would draw, right? What he did against teams with losing records, that he's an elite quarterback based upon what you saw from him a year ago, and even with the year he has statistically, you can make the argument that he wasn't even the best player on his team. Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, was the guy who made that offense go. Not the entire offense, but he was, of course, a huge part of it. Even with that, all the weapons around Tua, he still can't win a playoff game. You have a lot of what ifs, I think, in Tua. Some people will suggest you're not giving him enough credit. Look what he did a year ago. He stayed healthy. The problem is, and a year ago, much like a lot of times we have seen him find some success, in the end, he's done what? Loses playoff games. Can't win the big one. Can't win a playoff game. And believe me, I'm looking at this going, man, was this a mistake? Was this a mistake to give him all this money? Can he actually get it done? I wouldn't have paid him. For one, he can't beat good teams, but can beat up on really bad, mediocre teams. What's going to happen when the Miami Dolphins have to go on the road in the cold in the playoffs? Miami is 3-12 versus playoff teams in the last 2 seasons. 3-8 when Tua starts. 4-9 in December and January the last 2 years. No quarterback should get $50 million a year for no playoff wins. This is how you look at it, right? This is how I look at the Tua deal right now. You can make a case if you want that Tua is the best quarterback since Dan Marino. I'm okay with that. That's okay. You can say that. But let's face it, Tua got paid by default. But I don't know what you want to see that you haven't really seen a great deal of. You got basically a quarterback who went through the entire season, had a good season, and wants to play through the season and be healthy. That's one of his goals that he mentioned. But there was and there has been some question marks about him, particularly in the playoffs. You stay in Miami with people that you know and trust, an offense you're a part of. Okay, that's good. You play off the season you had a year ago and hope that it translates into a little bit more of a robust season for you. He is not the definition of an elite quarterback, nor a game manager. I've got to right this ship in the storm. This is the best opportunity in his case for him to win with an elite wide receiver talent. Last season, you couldn't win a single playoff game with the talent around you. And we know that. And when you look back to last season, you haven't proven you could beat good teams. You can't play in the cold. You're physically limited on what you can do for this team. The quarterback position is the highest demand today. So the market for quarterbacks, and this I do understand, the market for quarterbacks and the timing is why the Dolphins were willing to make a big commitment to Tua. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate it. I appreciate the love and support. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming to my channel. Don't be shy. Hit the subscribe button. If you like this content, thank you guys so much. And be sure to check out upcoming content and go back and look at more stuff. Thanks, guys. Getting out of here now. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.